Leaders, real life leaders.
Hello, everyone. We are so glad you're with us. And every time you get to hear me interview the most amazing guests. But today you have a special treat. Well, hopefully it'll be special. You get to hear someone else interview me. So enjoy the show.
Welcome back to another episode on the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Now, today I have the pleasure of introducing a dynamic entrepreneur and author, Mrs. Chantel Ray. Now, Chantel is the founder of CanZell Realty, a multi-million-dollar real estate company operating across multiple states. Now, after recently merging with EXP, her journey in real estate began in 2005, and she quickly made a name for herself, selling 52 homes in her first year, earning the title Rookie of the Year. But she's most definitely not a rookie now, guys. But beyond her real estate ventures, Chantel is a best-selling author known for her books on health and wellness, including Waste Away, The Chantel Way, and Fasting to Freedom, including another book she's about to let us know she's just released. She also hosts the popular Waste Away podcast, where she shares insights on her intermittent fasting and healthy living. Now, Chantel's commitment to integrating health, wealth, and wisdom into her life and business is evident through her various initiatives, including coaching, speaking engagements, and her non-toxic family podcast. Now, we're going to dive into her story. I can't wait. Help me welcome the one and only Chantel Ray. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Ethan, I can sit there and just listen to you talk. Like, I'm telling you, listen, all of our agents who have an accent like yours, they sell like 3 times as much as everyone else. Like,
Oh, wow.
because you get mesmerized with your accent is just so wonderful.
Well, let me know if you're hiring. We'll have go for a coffee on South Beach, and most definitely I'll be interested, especially with your team, that what you've done. But we'll dive straight in and spare no details. Spare no details. So, just going back to the start, your real estate career took off rapidly with 52 homes sold in your first year. Now, what strategies or mindsets has contributed towards such a remarkable start? Or just, yeah, how did you get into it?
Yeah, so I think that I went into real estate with the mindset where I always I was a grinder, right? Like I always grinded and I always worked like 45, 50 hours a week at least, sometimes more. And so when I went into real estate, I went in with that mindset. Like I'm going to give this 45, 50 hours a week at a minimum every single week. And I made it where I was working, not at 9 o'clock in the morning. I kind of went to my computer. I did everything that I needed to. I listened to different, back then, I've been in the business for so long. Back then it was cassettes, cassette tape. A lot of the younger people are like, what is that? Right. But I listened to cassettes and different audios and videos on just people who are top performers. And I actually really did a lot of masterminds. Like I would find people who are successful and I would get them together and I'd be like, let's get together and see, what did you do? And what did you do? And everyone shared ideas. I think I've always had an abundant mentality where I was like, just lived in abundance, where it was like, I'm going to share all my ideas of what's working with me. And then I found other people that shared ideas with them. And I think, I host a mastermind weekly every single week. Where we just share ideas. It's free. And, we just get together and share what's working. And I think that actually has a lot more power than people think it does, of joining these masterminds and sharing ideas. And you want to be around people who have that abundant mentality where they're like, there's enough business for everyone. When you get that in your mind where you go, there's enough business for everyone. I don't need to have this mentality where I keep all my ideas to myself and I don't share things. So I think having that mindset is very, very important to start with.
Most definitely. The energy is contagious, and you get around the right people, you can take them to the moon and back and be beyond. And the abundance mindset instead of a fixed mindset is really what sets us apart and drives us forward. But wow, within 1,500 homes within 1 year, you can most definitely see that you're doing something different, and I love it. Now, CanZell Realty has expanded significantly under your leadership. What were some, let's say, of the challenges you faced during this growth, and how did you overcome those challenges and turn them into success stories?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that we're all taught when you get into real estate is that you start off as a single agent, then
Hmm.
you grow into a small team, then medium, then a large team, and then you open up your own brokerage. Like we're all taught that. And I will tell you, opening up my brokerage was the worst decision that I ever made.
Hmm.
And I like to say, opening up a real estate brokerage isn't for everybody.
Hmm.
In fact, I think it's for nobody. And
Hmm.
so, and the reason is because when you open up your own brokerage, there's so many different pieces to it. So when I was a team, right, the people who joined my team, we did so much for them. Like
Hmm.
you can only wear so many hats in real estate, right? So it's lead generation, it's marketing, it's working with clients, and there's so many different hats.
Hmm.
And so when we were a team, I didn't have to worry about the commission checks and, just all the other things.
Hmm.
I focused on one thing, which was, I call it marketing over everything. And then so
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you've
yeah,
ever
yeah,
gone,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like if you ever gone to Moe's, it's like, welcome to Moe's. Yes, marketing over everything. And that's what I focused on. That's actually my best gift. I think everyone's kind of God gives everyone like one special gift that they're inherently just really good at.
Hmm.
And then you also have other gifts, right? But naturally, that just comes to me. I actually had a rumor about me that I have my degree in marketing from Harvard.
Hmm.
And I don't. I have my degree in mathematics. I was a math
Hmm.
teacher, and I have never taken a marketing class in my entire life.
Uh-huh.
It's just, again, something that I think you kind of are born with a little bit.
Most
And
definitely.
yeah, so I've just look at what other people are doing in other industries and find out what I like. Not necessarily in real estate. I look at what people are doing in all the other industries and marketing,
Hmm.
and then I kind of emulate what I like, what I don't like. And then I always look at what is the problem that people are trying to solve. That's the key to marketing is you go, what is the person's problem? Now I figure out how I'm going to be the solution to
Hmm.
that problem. And then I'm going to say how I fix it. So I'll give you an example. I saw this commercial about a flooring company, and the flooring company said, if after we put in your floors, if you don't love them, we don't care if you picked out the wrong one. If you don't love it when we're done, we'll come in, rip it up, and put brand new flooring. That was their catch. Like, we guarantee that you're going to love this flooring or we'll replace it for free. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. So I came up with the idea, and I asked different real people in who had used real estate agents in the past, and they said, I don't like being stuck in a long-term contract. Like if the
Hmm.
agent's not doing something and I'm now stuck, but one time I was
Yeah.
stuck for 6 months, one time I was stuck for a year. So I said, great, guess what we're going to do?
Uh-huh.
At Chantel Ray, right? You're never stuck in a long-term contract. And
Okay.
so if you're not happy at any time, you
See you
can fire.
later. And then that also takes away the security from the realtors to be lazy to, because your client can leave you if you don't perform. Make sure you perform because they're not under contract. And also, what that gives the security to the vendor selling the house that, okay, I'm not under contract. So these guys probably know what they're talking about and what they're going to do, and they're going to get the job done, as you can see there. But just in regards to the marketing side as well, you've authored several books on health, on wellness, and you've got a whole brokerage underneath you. But how do you balance how do you balance your demanding real estate career with your passion for health? And then what inspired you to start writing the books?
Yeah, so what happened was I was working so hard and
Hmm.
grinding. And then I got to the place where I was just sick. Like I was
Hmm.
not feeling good. I developed an autoimmune condition called psoriatic arthritis.
Hmm.
And so I kind of said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a podcast and I'm going to, well, first thing that happened was I had gained weight because
Hmm.
I gained about 30 pounds. And again, because of real estate, I blame everything.
We'll just blame it on real estate. It's fine. It's fine. Just blame it on real estate. Fine.
It's not all the food that I was shoving in my mouth,
That's
right?
fine. It's just real estate.
So I gained 30 pounds. And so then I just started interviewing women. I
Hmm.
interviewed about 1,000 women. And
Hmm.
I only picked women who've never been on a diet in their life
Okay.
and who were naturally thin. Like, they weren't obsessed. They weren't doing meal
Okay.
plans and meal prep and counting all their calories.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Said, what did you do? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so then I wrote a book called Waste Away,
Okay.
uh, Chantel Ray Way. And all that book is
Hmm.
everything that those women did to
Okay.
stay thin. And I put that in a book. And then I created a podcast called Waste Away Through Intermittent
Most
Fasting.
definitely.
And then it kind of turned more into a health podcast.
Hmm.
I have over 550 episodes. Dr. Gundry, I mean, the best of the best on that show. We're like categorized number one in the intermittent fasting category because I've had like the best of the best on there. And really, it changed it still talks about weight loss, but mostly about weight loss and health
Hmm.
on that podcast, just different tips. And I've just dramatically changed my health. I mean, I'm on no prescription medicines at
Hmm.
all, which I was only on like a thyroid
Yeah,
medicine,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, I just have literally got my health has just transformed. And part of it's,
Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe
yes,
Dispenza. Have you read that book?
uh-uh,
I'm gonna send it to you. You're
haven't.
gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. It's just, I think the universe just sent me to tell you that. Yeah, that's the book for you. I'm gonna send it over to you. You're gonna
Okay.
absolutely love it. You're gonna
Yeah.
thank me after. But
Okay.
yeah, sorry, carry on. Just in regards to inspiring you to write these books, but let's move on. Just in regards to your business model, it incorporates tithing, giving back to the community, as God says as well. Can you elaborate how this practice has influenced your company's culture and success?
Yeah, so what we do is now we actually merged in with EXP. So I
Hmm.
grew the company to 20 states. And then Leo Pereira actually became the CEO. He's
Hmm.
absolutely amazing. And we've been friends for a really long time. We had a conversation and he came up with a few things that I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do this. And I actually copied everything that EXP did. And I added a few kind of value propositions that were
Okay.
just CanZell. And then EXP copied, like we opened up the first three levels.
Okay.
Um, and then EXP copied that. And I was like, all right, we just need to merge in
Most
together.
definitely.
So we merged in with EXP and it's been just one of the best decisions that I've ever made. My health has been transformed. And now we have something called a CanZell certified agent
Yep.
where we just give out leads to people
Okay.
with, they just have a 35% referral fee that they give back to us
Hmm.
at closing. And we just do leads all across the country. I got an account with this guy who he buys leads for like people who do cash offers and wholesaling.
Hmm.
And then the people who don't want to do the wholesaling with the cash offer, he gives those leads back to me.
Okay.
And then I now have leads in all 50 states and
Wow.
can give those seller leads out in all 50 states. So now instead of being in 20 states, I'm now in all 50. I can give them out.
Perfect.
It's really going to be a blessing for a lot of agents that want to join.
I'll call you in a second. I'm joking. No, most definitely. When you give back, the universe gives back to you 10x as well. So it's the law of karma, law of equivalent exchange, and yeah, God
Yeah, so
will
we do
most
for
definitely
every
reward.
one of the closings that the 35% referrals out of that, we for all those clients, we give 10% of that money that comes in goes to a charity of the
Wow,
client's choice. So there's
amazing.
10 different charities. They're all things that we vetted. Like, for example, if a client wanted to give to the Red Cross, we say no, and I'll tell you
Hmm.
why because the Red Cross, no disrespect, but 1% of their money actually goes to help people.
Wow,
99% of
really?
their money, yes, 99% of their money goes towards helping or paying their bills. They're building their CEO. I think their CEO makes like $600,000 a year. And they
Meant to
have
be a
to show.
charity, no?
Yes. And so
Wow,
we vet the places that we give to, and we make
that's
sure that
definitely.
at least, 70% of the money that's going in is going to actually helping people,
Hmm.
and no more than 20 or 30% is going towards the operation of
Hmm.
whatever charity we pick, because that we want to make
Amazing.
sure we're a good steward with our money. But my goal is that I'll live on 10% of my income and I want to give 90% away. And so last year I did like 76%, and then hopefully, next year or this year it'll be
And it will
79%.
come back. It will all come back 10x, 10x.
Yeah.
God sees that you're doing something tremendous, truly amazing.
You guys, some of you are doing the old way of real estate instead of the new way. So the old way is magazines, open houses, newspapers, door knocking, cold calling, pop buys. A lot of you are like, what the heck is a pop buy? So if you're younger, that's where you just pop by someone's house and you say, hey, I was popping by. I thought about you. Well, guess what? If you're still doing things the old way, I want to teach you how to do it the new way. And that is through social media, video, running ads, and digital marketing. We just want you to copy exactly the strategies that we've done. And we always joke that it's not the best real estate agent that sells the most homes, it's the best marketer. I'm not here to take your money. I'm literally just here to teach you what to do. And if you want us to help you set it up, we're happy to, or you can just learn how to do it and set it up yourself. To watch the free video, go to bizboxfunnels.com/marketing. Watch the free webinar, see if it resonates with you, and see what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
But with just moving on to the real estate industry, and we ever know it's continuously evolving. We've had the elections, which Trump is getting in office shortly. We've had the base rates at nearly all-time highs for the past couple of years, and we've had COVID. So just going forward from this, what future trends are you anticipating, and how are you preparing your brokerage, CanZell Realty, to adapt to these changes?
Yeah, so I think there's going to be tons of changes in the future. I think,
Hmm.
AI, the increased use of technology with the smart home technologies. I mean, there's so many things that are happening in the real estate space, just in general with AI and technology. And I think that, we need home prices to level out,
Hmm.
because what's happening is
Hmm.
is that it's getting to the place that people cannot afford to
Hmm.
buy homes. I know here
Especially
in
in Florida as well. I
yes,
was talking to someone over there, like even like the people that have been living here, say 10, 15 years, sold up. So say they bought their house for like 280, sold it for 600 now. That they wouldn't be able to get that house at 600 again. So they're sitting on lumps of cash looking to purchase something else, but they can't. And like if you even if they're a business owner working in a restaurant or Uber drivers over there as well, they're really struggling, you know?
they're really struggling. And the crazy part is, it's funny because we have a luxury division, and we
Hmm.
we we said everything over 1 million is part
Hmm.
of that luxury division. Well, there's a house that's like really close to me that is listed for like 1.2 million. If I showed you what this
Not
house
worth it.
looked like for
Yeah,
1.2 million, you would be like, you're kidding me.
yeah.
That house is a 1.2 million. It looks like a shack. It literally looks like a shack for 1.2 million. And so, we have to get to the place where the home price growth has to level out or come
Hmm.
down. Otherwise, it just gets harder and harder and harder. So I think that there's going to be slower increases in both home prices and rents. And, as far as the interest rate goes, unfortunately, it's continuing to go, up and up and up and up. I mean, it
Most
might go
definitely.
down a little bit, but then it's continuing to go up. So I think that for real estate agents, what they have to focus on, I think, people used to have this idea when things were booming, 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 right? They just were like, don't buy leads, only focus on your sphere. And now that's why I feel like I made this decision to merge in with EXP, and now I can offer with I've now put my focus on generating leads for agents so that I can give them back to them at this referral fee. And I think that's where things have to change for real estate agents.
Most
These
definitely.
people who were working their
On
sphere,
this mindset, you know?
now they have to shift and go, okay, if I want to thrive in this business now, I've got to start making a lot more phone calls. I've got to start making a lot more things. And the other shift is this. I've heard people say, well, I'm calling these leads and they're not answering. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let me give you a tip to that.
Mm-hmm.
What you should do immediately when you get a lead is you have to text them first. That's
Mm-hmm.
step one. And it has to be a text that sounds like from your best friend.
Yeah.
It cannot be professional at all. It
Hey
needs,
buddy, it's Ethan from da 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 da. How you doing today? I just got your information. No, 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 no.
it won't
Backtrack,
work.
backtrack. Like even I'm starting to speak like an American now. My voice, my accent's going. When I give like impressions, like, I promise
Oh,
you, I'm
yeah, you
podcasting
got
all
to do
day.
that impression again. Do it again.
No, no, no. It's not happening. Next podcast. Next podcast.
No,
It's not
but you
happening.
understand what I'm saying. Like it
Yeah.
has to be a text. Pretend like your best friend
Mm-hmm.
inquired about that property. And once that person inquires, that's how you respond. It's
Mm-hmm.
got to be not professional at all. Then, after you send that very, very personal text, then you're going to pick up the phone. And when you actually pick up the phone and call, now because you sent the initial text, it will say something like on your iPhone, like maybe it's Chantel Ray or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, like it pops up. And then the person's like, oh, okay, maybe this is from a real person. And then you can follow it up. But I believe text messaging has to be the first step,
Mm-hmm.
followed immediately by a call. And then the other piece that people don't understand is that they are saying that it takes at least 11 touches
Mm-hmm.
before someone will get an appointment. And
Okay.
so what's happening is people are doing one text, one call, and then they're out the door.
Yeah.
That's not working anymore. You can't do one call, one text. And, there's
Mm-hmm.
something that my good friend Anthony Lamacchia had said. We had flown him down to do a speaking engagement with us, and he calls it the double dial.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll call someone, and if they don't answer, he'll call them again. And we've now even advanced that sometimes you have to do a triple dial.
Mm-hmm.
You call someone, they don't answer, you call again, and then you call a third time. But it actually really works when you do it. The double dial usually works itself as well, where you just
Mm-hmm.
call them and then they don't answer, and then you just say, okay, well, I'm going to call you right back again. So the method I like is you first send a text that's
Mm-hmm.
extremely personal, then you call. If they don't answer, that's when you do the double dial. If you've got a bigger set of balls, then add in the triple dial, but then you follow up 11 times and
Okay.
you will get one of the things we
Hustling,
say.
hustling, hustling, hustling. Guys, I hope you're listening. I hope you're absolutely listening. Chantel's got some amazing gems for you.
Because
Yeah.
we say we will
Uh-huh.
follow up with you until you buy or die. That's the
Almost definitely.
mentality.
I love it. I
You
love
buy
it.
or die, we're going to follow up with you, or until you tell us to kick rocks. But our mindset is until you buy or die.
Hmm. Where do you go from here, Chantel? Like what's your future plans?
One of the things I'm so passionate about right now is teaching people about passive income. So
Amazing.
I, yes. So, I wrote this book, Delegate Everything But Sex. So, number one, I love to teach people how to delegate so that they have more time. On here, it says how to lead, delegate, and become a time millionaire, because we can always make more money, but none of us can make more time. And so, teaching people how to get more time is really, really what I'm most passionate about right now. And then really teaching people how to make passive income. I make passive
Hmm.
income 8 different ways now.
Wow.
And so I love to teach people exactly what all those 8 different ways that, whether I'm eating or whether I'm on vacation or whether I'm sleeping, I wake up and money is coming in,
Hmm. Hmm.
that I'm not working. And it's literally changing the mentality. This is what I want people to see. There's active income and there's passive income.
Hmm.
Every day, wake up and say, how am I making passive income today?
Most definitely.
And instead of active income, because as you get older, I'm getting older and older and older, and I can't grind the way I used to.
Hmm.
And so I've got to get to a place where my health is more important. I'm focused on my friends and my family. I'm focused on my health. I'm doing cold plunge and I'm doing
Yes.
sauna.
Amen.
I'm doing all the
It's
things. I'm
good.
doing all the things that are going to improve my health. And I just can't work like I did before.
Hmm. Most definitely. Wow. We've got one last fun question for you. Here at the Icons Real Estate Podcast, we are the number one real estate podcast network, and we're passionate about launching podcasts, hosting, and making podcasting accessibility for all. But the fun question is, if you launched a new real estate podcast, or wanted to launch a podcast in the future, what would it be called?
I think it would be called godly wisdom. And
Ooh,
I'll tell you why. There's a story in the Bible where Solomon is dreaming and God comes to him and
it's
he's
always
like,
by my side. Yeah.
anything you
Yep.
want,
Yep.
right? If you
Amen.
want wealth, I'll give you wealth. If you want kingdoms, I'll give you kingdoms. What do you want?
Hmm.
And he said, give me wisdom.
Hmm.
And God gave him wisdom. And after that, the riches came and the kingdoms came. But the thing that you want to wake up every day, and, I want to personally thank you for all the wisdom. Like you are giving
Hmm.
so many agents like the best wisdom. Like they should be listening to your podcast every single day and multiple times, because the way that you grow is through wisdom. And really, they say you become like the 5 people that you hang out with, and you
Hmm.
want to hang out with the people who are every day saying, okay, waking up in the morning, God, I want your wisdom. There's a verse in the Bible that I love. It's in Isaiah, and it's all about, you know, it's Isaiah 30:21. And it says, whether you turn to the right or to the left, you'll
Hmm.
hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk ye in it.
Hmm.
And so really just kind of like listening to podcasts, right? And getting that information and then kind of praying about it and saying, okay, God, what do you want me to do today? Because
Hmm.
everything you hear on the podcast is not going to be for you. You wake up saying that verse, God, today, whether I turn to the right or the left, I want to hear your voice behind me saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. And that
Amen.
verse, kind of one of my power verses that I pray every single day.
Amen.
Hmm.
Let's go. My power verse is I think it's Psalms 23:4, you know. Though I should walk through the
Hmm.
valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Thy rod is and thy staff is with me. I shall want for nothing and what's the rest? But it's something like that. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
I put
yeah,
that one in my thing. But godly
yeah.
products,
Yea,
like
though I walk through
I
the
would
valley of
be
the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
Amen.
God,
Amen.
your rod and
God
your
and his
staff.
staff, they comfort me. Amen. Let's get it.
Yes, Psalm 23,
No,
4.
let's make that happen. I'd love to be involved in that. But guys, wow, today was truly inspiring. I hope to do another podcast with Chantel shortly. And yeah, where can our audience reach you, Chantel?
The best place for them to reach me is chantelray.com.
Okay.
I have a course that I'm doing. It's a digital marketing course that
Okay.
we have. And they can go to chantelray.com/course and see that. I just, I really think if people get into the mindset now of going, okay, I'm going to shift my mindset. I'm going to go after being with leads. If they go to become a CanZell certified agent, We'll start giving them leads. We'll start teaching them how to build their brand. We'll teach them how to do digital marketing is where it's at. Like,
Most
think
definitely.
about this. I'll say one last thing. It used to be all these people would do like open houses, pop buys. Do you know the term pop buy? When I say the term pop buy? Okay, that's so funny that you don't even know what it means. So
Okay,
it's
go.
this term, it's called pop buy. And what it means is you'd go and give people, let's say you'd give them Mentos, right?
Okay.
Like a candy's Mentos, and
Yeah.
you'd go to their house and you'd say something like, I meant to think about you today. Please use me if you're ever thinking about real estate, or
Okay.
or you
Yeah.
bring them popcorn and you go, I just popped by because, you popped by in my mind, or something silly like that. You buy
Yeah.
these like little gifts that cost like $5, and then you pop by the people's houses and then you give it to them. But that's so funny because all the younger generation, they don't even know what that is. But all these old methods, which are like open houses, pop buys, all these different things that you can think of, we're now moving to a new space. And that new space is all with social media, digital media. And so this course teaches you how to be a digital media specialist. And
Most
then
definitely.
with this course, this is what I'm talking about with passive income. You buy the course from me one time, then I give you the link, and then you can sell it to whoever you want
Okay.
and make passive income from it.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
I can give you the link, and then you can, turn around and sell it to whoever you want, because that's it. And I have something else called chantelray.com/passive. And I have a free webinar that I do. And I literally tell you all the 8 different ways that I make passive income.
I'm plugging in. What's the link?
chantelray.com/passive.
Array.com/passive. Okay, guys, wow, what an episode. They're gonna love it. They're gonna absolutely love it. But yeah, just short on time. So I could speak with you all day, probably. All day.
Oh, well, I could speak with you all day. So that's a
Most
perfect
definitely.
fit.
But guys, Ethan Thomas and Chantel Ray, another episode at the Icons Real Estate Podcast, over and out. Thank you so much, Chantel.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Real Life Leadership. If you'd like to get the show notes or access more resources, log on to reallifeleaders.com/podcast to get the show notes from this episode and any other resources we might have mentioned. And also, we'd love to hear from you. Be sure to review or rate this podcast on Apple Podcasts to help spread the word. And if you have any leadership questions you want answered, email podcast@reallifeleaders.com.